Hi everyone, I'm Nick with Burnley and Trowbridge, and you're joining us today for a tutorial on setting in buckram and button stands. In the 18th century, buckram refers to either a sturdy linen or a linen that's been stiffened with glue or some other sizing, and it's used to reinforce the front edges of coats and waistcoats. So we'll begin by cutting out our buckram and positioning it. The buckram needs to be a little bit wider than the finished length of the buttonholes on the coat or the waistcoat. So here our buttons are about 1.5 inches long, so you want your buckram to be a little bit longer just so that it covers the entire width of the buttonhole stitches. On worsted wool, linen, silks, or anything else that's going to ravel, you'll fold the front edge of the outer fabric over your buckram before securing it. And in that case, you'll want to make sure that the edge of the buckram follows the shape of your pattern piece fairly closely so that you get a nice clean edge. On broadcloth, you'll set the buckram back about 1/4 inch from the front edge and cast it down. And you'll want to pin the buckram or baste it in place while you attach it. And the stitch used to secure the buckram can vary. You can use a large hem stitch, a running prick stitch, a ladder stitch, a zigzag, or even a basting stitch, or a plain whip stitch. Just find what stitch you're most comfortable with and use that. And remember that the insides don't have to be pretty, but they do need to be secure. You don't want the inner layers of the garment to be shifting around and coming out of position once it's finished. So you'll go all the way around and secure the outer edges of your buckram. And you'll be putting buckram on both the left and right fronts of the garment, so you do the same for both sides. To add a button stand, cut a piece of sturdy linen about 4 inches wide along the grain. You'll fold it in half and you'll offset the cut edges a little bit so you don't get a hard edge showing through the front of the fabric, and you'll press it along the curve of the front. The fold goes towards the front, and you only put the button stand on the side that's getting the buttons. So obviously if it's a double-breasted waistcoat or coat, you'll need it on both sides. And you'll tack the button stand to the buckram along the front, and you'll use large basting stitches or whip stitches through the button stand and the buckram only. Don't go through your fashion fabric. So after the front edge is attached, you'll flip the panel over to the front and top stitch along a line following the curve of the front, a little bit wider than the width of your buttons. And you'll use a spaced back stitch going through all the layers, about 8 to 10 stitches per inch. And this makes a firm, durable edge that will hold the buttons and it will stand up to a lot of wear. And once that's done, and you have your buckram on both sides and your button stand in place, you're ready for your buttons and buttonholes. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on setting in buckram and button stands. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you find our videos helpful, and until next time, happy sewing!